If you're in midlife and your sleep is broken, you are not alone. Waking at 3 a.m., staring at the ceiling, exhausted but wired is one of the most frustrating symptoms of menopause. We blame hormones, and yes, dropping estrogen and progesterone do play a role. But there's another layer almost no one is talking about. It's not just what's happening in your body, but it's also what's happening around you, specifically light. Let's start with the morning. In Genesis 1, God separates the light from the darkness. The sun rules the day, and the dark brings rest. Our bodies are designed to run on that rhythm. We call it the circadian rhythm. So, what's happening biologically is that when the morning light hits your eyes, the signal travels through your retina to the optic nerve to your brain. This triggers serotonin to be released, which lifts your mood and gives you energy. And it starts a timer to tell your brain that in about 14 to 16 hours, it will need to produce melatonin for sleep. Remarkably, this works even for many people who are blind and have no sight. There are special light sensing cells in your eyes that detect the light and help set your body's clock. God's design is amazing. Now, melatonin is about more than just sleep. It's a powerful antioxidant. It's a potent anti-cancer agent. Your body cannot produce it properly if it doesn't receive the proper light signals in the morning. This is why I have made it a non-negotiable and have built the habit of stepping outside first thing every morning, even before I feed the dog. I take my glasses off so that the light actually gets to my eyes. I walk out off the patio and stand in the grass. And just recently, I've started getting down into what's called a resting squat. That's part of my movement practice, as we talked about in the last video. And I just pray and focus on gratitude for the new day. And this is not just a spiritual practice. It's a biological reset. You are literally aligning your body with God's design for the day. Morning light is the anchor, but that's not the only light that your body needs. The midday sun, that is the most intense, full spectrum light. And that is the time getting outside and letting the midday light hit your skin. That is when your body produces vitamin D. And the red infrared wavelengths of that midday sun are most available. And that is the healing spectrum that supports cellular repair, reduces inflammation. And then there's the late afternoon heading towards sunset. We begin to have more of the warm red and orange spectrum of the sunlight. And this prepares your body for sleep and is the opposite of the blue light, which is what in the morning you have more of the blue spectrum that wakes you up, and in the evening you get more of that red and orange spectrum that helps your body go to sleep. It signals to your brain that the day is ending and that it's time to wind down. This is why an evening walk can be so relaxing, because you're literally bathing in the light that's telling your brain to wind down. I would suggest to try to get outside at least twice a day. In the morning for that morning light that's going to set your body's clock, and then getting out in the evening light for the winding down towards nighttime and going to sleep. And then, of course, if you can throw in some time in the midday as well, now you're getting all of those important times of the day. Now, if that morning light is the wake up signal, what is happening when we're exposing our eyes to the bright artificial light in the evenings after sunset? That is telling your brain that it's noon. You're confusing your biology. Through much of history, the only light that was available after sundown was firelight. Think candles, campfires, lanterns. Firelight is warm, red, orange, and it does not disrupt melatonin. But our modern lighting is bringing in more of the blue spectrum like we have in the mornings with our LED light bulbs, energy efficient bulbs, TVs, phones, tablets. All of these have that blue spectrum, and the blue light is the ultimate melatonin blocker. I was recently listening to a TED Talk by Thaddeus Owens, and he said something that really stuck with me. He talked about the artificial light as being processed sunlight. It's giving us the wrong frequencies at the wrong times of the day and not bringing us the full healing spectrum of the sun. So the consequence is that disruption of your brain producing melatonin. You may eventually pass out from exhaustion, but it's going to prevent you from getting enough of that good restorative sleep. And you rob your body of the cellular cleanup and cancer fighting benefits of melatonin. There is also a metabolic connection to our exposure to the sunlight at different times of the day. Our light regulates cortisol and other metabolic hormones, and a wrecked circadian rhythm from artificial light doesn't just ruin your sleep. It makes your body less efficient at managing blood sugar and insulin. That combined with the metabolic shifts of menopause brings a double whammy. So getting outside in the sunlight as often as you can throughout the day actually helps your body process the food that you eat. Here's some practical steps to reclaim your rest. Number one is to get outside within that first hour of waking up, as close to the sunrise as you can. Take your glasses off if you wear them and let the light hit your eyes. Even on cloudy days, the lux outside is vastly higher than your indoor lighting. Let your eyes get the sun for at least 5 to 10 minutes. Just go out, drink water, pray, and focus on gratitude. It's a lovely way to start the day. Step number 2 is to dim the lights after sunset. You want to turn off the bright overhead lights and begin to use lamps that are a little bit dimmer. And maybe if you can, there are some LED bulbs, which are easier to find these days, that you can turn them more towards the warmer spectrum of the light. And if you can get incandescent bulbs, that would be ideal. Firelight does not disrupt sleep, and blue light does. So we're aiming to, as much as possible, mimic the firelight in the evenings after sunset before we go to bed. Step number 3 is to block the blue. You can use the nighttime settings on your devices. Different devices will have different setting names in the menu for things like night shift, night light, eye comfort shield, anything that indicates it has to do with the light and your eyes. And you can also wear blue light blocking glasses in addition to having the nighttime settings. So this is a double layer of protection if you're having to use your screens. I have a pair that I bought that fits over my prescription glasses. Getting outside into God's creation is not just a sleep hack. It is medicine for your soul. Psalm 19 says, "The heavens declare the glory of God. The skies proclaim the works of his hands." So when you step outside in the morning, anytime during the day, and in the evening at sunset, you are stepping into his sanctuary, letting the creation remind you that God is in control. Even if menopause is making your body feel out of control. In the first episode, we talked about mindset and reframing menopause. And in the second episode, we talked about the importance of strength and movement. And that's today we've talked about rest and light. So in the next video, we'll be considering how the toxic load our bodies are carrying impacts everything that menopause is already doing. Be sure and share this with a friend who may be struggling with their sleep. I would like to hear from you. Comment down below, what is one small habit that you're going to try this week to get more morning light? And let's remember, We want to do our best to be good stewards of our health and then trust God with the rest. I will see you in the next video.